Welcome back to At Dre's Table, where we talk about life, change, healing, and finding our way through the unknown. Today, we're going to talk and we're going to get into something that so many people talk about, and it's not everyone fully understands, and that's the whole concept of work life balance. The phrase sounds simple, but in real life, balance is not always neat, it's not always equal, and it's not picture perfect. For some people, balance means leaving work at a certain time and having evenings free, free at home with family. For others, it may mean building a flexible schedule, protecting their mental health, or simply making time to rest without guilt. I'm guilty of that. The truth is, work life balance looks quite different for everyone because all of us have different responsibilities. We've got different goals, different sets of values, and our emotional needs are not identical. What feels balanced to one person may feel overwhelming to another. That's why real balance is less about perfection and more about alignment. It's about asking yourself whether the way you are living matches with what truly matters to you. It's about creating a life where your energy is being poured into the things that support your well being, your peace. How about your purpose? And especially the relationships you have. Some seasons of life will require more focus on work, while other seasons may require more attention to healing, more attention to family, more attention to rest. Better yet, how about more attention to rebuilding yourself? Doesn't mean that you're failing, not at all, and I want you to know that. It does mean that you're looking at adjusting. And adjusting, what is that? Well, adjusting is very healthy. Balance is not about doing everything equally every single day. It's about knowing when something needs more of you and when you need to pull back and give something to yourself. A powerful reminder is this. I'm gonna give you a couple of quotes here, but one in particular is balance is not something you find, it's something you create. Think about that one. Let me give you another one. You do not need to do everything to be enough. How about this last one? Alignment feels better than performance because peace is more valuable than appearances. If you're trying to create more balance in your life, right? Start by being honest about two things. And I really want you to pay close attention to this. Be honest with yourself about what is draining you and what is restoring you. Pay attention to what leaves you feeling fulfilled, right? And what leaves you feeling depleted. Sometimes you've got to set boundaries. Set boundaries around your time, even if they're small at first. Give yourself permission to rest. Protect your mornings or your evenings, depending on what works best for you. Because whatever, some people are nighttime folks, some people are daytime folks. Follow what makes you feel most grounded. Learn to say no to the things that pull you away from your priorities. Make space for joy, for stillness, for the people you love, and for the version of yourself that exists outside of your job title. Also, I want you to remember that balance is not just about time management. It's about energy management, emotional wellness, and self-respect. You deserve a life that feels sustainable, not just productive. Think about that a little bit. You deserve a life that feels sustainable, not just productive. So I want to leave you with this thought. Maybe balance is not about having everything under control. How many of us are constantly in pursuit of controlling every little detail and every little aspect of probably not just our own lives, but that of others, right? It's not always about that. Maybe it's about building a life that feels more like you. What is it about life that you want? Have you set those boundaries? Have you set the boundaries where you're protecting your peace? I know for a fact that I speak about this all the time. Protect your peace. Some people may look at me and they're like, you never get angry. Actually, I get very angry. I just choose if I'm going to allow something to disturb my peace. So for me, I purposefully make sure that the boundaries are set. And I struggle with it from time to time. Don't get me wrong. I am far from being perfect on doing that. But it's important to set those boundaries because then the level of respect that comes through is very, very different. So, thank you for joining me today at Dre's table. But I want you to take a moment today and really, 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 truly, I ask this of you because I ask this of myself. Check in with yourself and ask, does my life reflect what matters most to me? Does my life reflect what matters most to me? If you can't answer that question, I implore you to sit in stillness. Sit in silence. Maybe play some classical music, some solfeggio frequencies, if you will. Take time and sit in stillness and watch what happens. This may be a challenge for those of you who might be, you can't sit still, got ants in your pants. Um, I challenge you, try and sit in silence and watch what happens. So, if and when you do this, please come back, leave your comments, be like, I sat in silence and I went bananas, or I sat in silence and I had an epiphany. You'll be surprised that by sitting in silence and allowing yourself that inner peace, that moment of clarity to come through, makes all the difference in the world. So, until next time, protect your peace, honor yourself, and keep making room for the life you deserve. Until we chat again, friends. Dre, I'll talk to you soon.